Okay, back with hot stocks and a couple of companies which came out with news or results really. Rolta India, for example, came out with the numbers, also spoke about the quarter ahead. Mind you, just to recap, for quarter 4 on a quarter-on-quarter basis, the revenues were flattish. They did an uptick of around 20 or 22% on the EBIDTA front, and PAT, some bit of a downtick actually, 47 crores versus 67 crores. Margins though were very, very healthy. Q4 profit, of course, was hit due to a higher Forex loss. KK Singh, CMD of Rolta India, joins us right now on the show to speak about the numbers. More importantly, the outlook going ahead. Mr. Singh, good having you. Thanks so much for joining in. The quarter 4 profits were of course, was hit due to a higher Forex loss. KK Singh, CMD of Rolta India, joins us right now on the show to speak about the numbers. More importantly, the outlook going ahead. Mr. Singh, good having you. Thanks so much for joining in. The quarter 4 profits were hit predominantly due to the Forex loss. Now, as I read, you're targeting a growth of 15-odd%, 10 to 15% in the current fiscal. Just looking at how Q4 has been, what gives you the confidence that 15% could be an achievable number?
See, we have done the transformation in the company. I think our first phase is almost getting complete, where we have invested heavily in terms of bringing in solutions, in bringing in our IP into our solutions. So that is giving us much more traction in the market. Our IPs are very well accepted, and that is giving us a traction. And also we are simultaneously looking for some inorganic growth also in US. So that should also give us the growth. Therefore, we are quite confident that top line would be growing 12 to 15% during this year.
I would have a lot of questions on the US geography then, Mr. Singh, because I believe you had also spoken about the possibility of 2 large deals or orders to come in from the US clients. So let's talk about that first before we talk about the other aspects. One, what's the expectations on the deal flows? Because you were talking about 2 very large deals coming in. Is that in the offing? Can you give us a sense of how large these deals could be and the timeline to the same?
These are very large deals in the sense that they are about $30+ million for us, and they are expected to happen in next 3 to 4 months. So we are working over that, but these larger deals sometimes take longer time, and we believe that in 3 to 4 months we should be able to close them. Of course, some large deals are also expected out of Middle East, which are also in excess of about about $40 million or so. So we are looking at 3 or 4 very large deals internationally, plus a couple of deals domestically, which are in defense area. So.
Okay. So those are 2 large deals from the US, couple of large deals from the Middle East area, and some domestic deals as well. All of that cumulatively could result in fairly large order inflow for Rolta India. Mind you, the other bit is that they did speak about the possibilities of an acquisition in the US geography. So that is the other thing which would be active. But just so that, that's the other bit. You're speaking about fairly healthy news flow as order inflow, possibility of order inflows coming in from US and other geographies. The other bit is I'm just taking a leaf out of your answer, your opening statement, wherein you mentioned that you're also looking at some inorganic route in the US. Tell us more about it.
We have been seeing the market. I think the valuations are very attractive right now. If we can acquire some more company which can give us a bigger customer base, can give us the right people, and we are able to capture the market through that, I am very sure that we can do a India Connect and provide services and other value-added products from India, and thereby improve the productivity and the EBITA. So we are looking for such 1 or 2 large possible acquisitions, and I think in next 30 to 60 days we should be able to take some decision and go forward for that. If that happens, that should be decided by the month of October.
In the meanwhile, analysts fear that as you move away from the services business to solution-oriented business, there is a likelihood, Mr. Singh, of volatile earnings performance in the first half of FY13, which we are wrapping up. Do you also expect something similar, that growth would rather be back-ended?
We are looking almost a reasonable quarter-on-quarter growth, because our pipelines are healthy. And as I mentioned, the large deals which we are looking are in US, in Middle East and in India. So I believe that something should keep materializing every quarter, and we should be able to have almost a reasonable quarter-on-quarter growth. So 15%, 12, 15% which I am talking should give us 3-4% sequentially every quarter. That should be possible.
Mr. Singh, just before we wrap up, just a two-pronged question really. You've met your FCCB commitment, yes, but you've raised debt. And I believe, if I'm not wrong, a rate of interest of 7.75% if I'm not wrong, which would be an interest outflow of 40 odd crores every quarter. If you do indeed strike a deal or an inorganic acquisition in the US, and if that is to be funded as well, which I'm guessing would not happen only by internal accruals, but probably by raising more debt. One, how would the nature of the funding be for the acquisition? And two, if it is indeed debt, then what's the kind of interest outflow that Rolta would be able to bear on a quarter-on-quarter basis?
It will be a combination of internal accruals as well as some debt. So we have a limit of 2:1 for our debt-equity ratio. We have traditionally been less leveraged, and it's in last 4-5 years when the markets have been bad that we have tried to leverage and do our growth instead of not growing. And so at this time we see some debt on our books. But as we go forward with some more debt additionally taken to do this particular transaction, we might increase our interest outflow by about another 5 to 10% of the total interest quarterly. So about 45 crores or so per quarter should be the maximum interest which we are looking for. And then it should gradually come down, because we also believe that as the markets are well, we would be able to leverage ourselves by raising equity at the right price. And that will go to repay our loans. So we are quite confident that all the good steps which we have taken in last 3 or 4 years, in the times when the markets have been difficult, that will help us, because we are really transforming the company. We are bringing it to a different value chain. Our EBIDTA margins have gone much better than what they were earlier, and I believe that we can service the debt which we have, and as we go forward I am sure that we can deleverage it as the market gets better.
All right, Mr. Singh, we leave it at that. Thanks very much for joining us and giving us your perspective and also details about the company's business going forward. That's Rolta in the session. Meanwhile, L&T, order win coming in for that one at almost about 1,300 crores, 1,450 where the stock is right now. We'll take a short break right now. When we come back, get you specific recommendations from the market.